Alright, so like I said, we are going to be talking about writing conclusions today and making sure we have a strong conclusion when we end an essay. We've talked a lot about we've talked about graphic organizers and how to use them. And we wrote a short essay over 9/11, and we talked about our details. Travis, you did not do this assignment, so that's okay. But we're working on writing the conclusion though. Okay, so you've written essays before in the past, but now we want to work on writing stronger ones. And since some of us have a goal area in writing, we want to make sure that we can work through that process. So what I want you to write down on that sticky note I just handed you, what do you know about conclusions? What is something that needs to be in a conclusion? What do you do when you write a conclusion? Okay, what are you telling the reader? All right, that's what I want you to write on that sticky note. All right, Travis, what did you write on your sticky note? What do we need to have in a conclusion?
Well, I said it needs to relate to the thesis or topic sentence.
Yeah, relate to what we're writing about, right? And you're kind of wrapping it up in that ending. What did you have here for us?
Restates the topic sentence in a different way.
Awesome. So we are in agreement. We have to restate what we're talking about. And like you said, you added in a different way, which is good. Okay, so you just gave me good points from off of this sheet that I'm going to be handing to you right now. So on this sheet, it talks about the first one, restate your main idea, exactly what you guys just told me. But now we're going to work on how to write that as a strong restating what we are talking about. All right, so restate what your main idea. Leave the reader with a strong impression. So you're giving them a visual, maybe, of what you're talking about. Okay, sometimes a lot more imagery in your writing, so they're really sitting with you and understanding what you're trying to tell them. All right, it says recommend a course of action. So what should the readers think or do if they agree with you? Tell them what to do in no uncertain terms. So what this one's saying is, okay, now you just told this reader all about a topic, right? Now, what should the reader do with this information? Okay, what should they do? Why are you giving this information to them? Sum that up, wrap that up. Number 5, bring your main idea to life. You could quote a famous person, it says. Quote someone. You could ask a question, leave them wondering and thinking about what you wrote about, or make a statement that will leave the readers with something to think about, like I said, but not in the question form, right? So there are many different ways to do this when writing different essays, right? There's so many different kinds of essays that we write throughout high school, and these are just different ways that will help you write that strong conclusion. Let's go back to the top of that. The perfect ending should take the reader slightly by surprise and yet seem exactly right to him. So based off of what we just looked at these points, bring your main idea back to life, restate it, leave the reader with a strong impression, recommend a course of action. What does that quote mean? What is that quote telling us? What do you think? Travis, I see those wheels turning. What are you thinking?
I would say it means something the reader didn't expect, but seems to make sense.
Yeah, so now you told them it makes sense to them now that they read about it. Okay, I like that. Nathan, do you have any thoughts on that? No? You think it's, you're giving them the exact information that they want to know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. All right, let's flip that over. So writing a conclusion. What does a conclusion need? Travis, read that first one for us. Read that first one for us. It's on the back of your sheet. I just like to project it up too.
Oh, good boy. An effective lead-in.
It needs an effective lead-in. We're going to talk about different ways to lead in down here. Nathan, what is that second one?
Restated thesis sentence.
Yep, and we knew that one. Awesome. And the third one, restate each main idea. So not just the thesis, but every main idea. Travis, what are you thinking right now?
What?
You're smiling from.
I don't know why. Random.
All right. So lead-ins. When we were in 8th grade, maybe last year, 5 years ago, Travis, in your case, long time ago. Some of us wrote conclusions and put in conclusion, right? Do you remember doing that?
Transition.
Yeah, that's a transition word. Now we want to use these lead-ins. Instead of saying in conclusion and telling the reader what they're going to be reading, there are lead-ins which make it much more flow, much more easier for people to read, okay? So some of those. It is clear that, certainly, clearly, without a doubt, okay? And then there are more. So we are going to use these here in a little bit when we write our own. But these are different ways to write your concluding sentence or paragraph. And we're going to talk about those here in a minute. So let's look at this sheet here. So that paragraph, where do you see the concluding sentence in that paragraph? Where is it?
At the very end.
At the end?
Yeah.
Travis, do you agree?
Yeah, it's underlined.
Yep, it's underlined and it's at the end of the sentence. Okay, so we have the conclusion, the concluding paragraph, and then we have that concluding statement at the end. Okay, and that's where we're going to be writing ours. Flip that sheet over. All right, so I'm going to show you how maybe we could write a conclusion to our essay in paragraph form. All right, so this statement, we need to have a topic sentence, and then it says 2 supporting sentences. Okay, so that's going to be these here. And then a concluding sentence, and that concluding sentence has to be strong, like meaningful. Leave that reader thinking. Leave that reader understanding what you're talking about or how you're feeling. Okay, so I'm going to show you what I would do for this one. I enjoy studying at college. My supporting sentences, college has taught me many lessons. Okay, my one supporting sentence I have here. My other one. These lessons have changed me as a person and as a student. All right, now here's where it becomes a strong point, right? So I can look back at this sheet and use a lead-in word. For this one, I'm going to say, without a doubt. Without a doubt. I have become a more confident person who is ready to begin a new adventure. So after writing that, do you guys know how I feel about college?
Yeah.
How do I feel about college? Somewhat? Travis, how do I feel about college?
You love it.
I like it. Did I say that I like it in here?
No.
No, but how'd you get that feeling of mine?
Just by reading what you did review.
By reading what I wrote, and I put some strong words in there. All right. So let's look at that box underneath. So it gives us a topic sentence, and then these are two supporting sentences here. So I'm going to read them aloud. I enjoy studying at college. You also meet new students and teachers, and you learn to be more confident. However, my favorite subject is English because the teacher is very nice. All right, so if we have to write a concluding sentence to this, how do you think we should write it? What should we write? We write it together. First of all, how does this person feel about college? Good. Okay. He says he's more confident. His favorite teacher is English, or his favorite subject is English because of his teacher. So how can we strongly end with a great concluding sentence? Look at those lead-in words. However, okay, do you have a statement that's going to contradict what we said there?
However, that's a good question. I'm not really sure.
Okay, so let's look at the lead-in words. Let's see what else we could use then.
Oh, I thought you meant like there.
So these words here. Well, which word should we use?
Clearly.
Clearly. All right, clearly what? What are we saying? Clearly.
Those they go to college.
What about those that go to college? What do you think?
Gain more knowledge.
Gain more knowledge. Kind of like how you end with a rhyme there. Do you like that,
Oh,
Nathan?
Yeah.
that does work.
You like that? Were you thinking something else?
No, not really.
Alright. I like it. Okay, so in a conclusion, we have our topic sentence that relates back to our main idea, two supporting, and then a strong conclusion. Alright, so look at that box next to it. It says, everyone should go to college. So now I want you to write two supporting sentences and then end with that strong conclusion. Everyone should go to college. ... So two supporting sentences. Why should everyone go to college? And then end strong. Go ahead and write those down.